Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and today on the podcast, we're talking about employers. Not every employer is going to be the right employer for you. So let's discuss on the podcast today why that is the case and who the right employer for you is. Before we get started, thanks to our presenting sponsor, Baratza, ours and your favorite grinder company. Head to baratza.com and find the right grinder for you. I use a Baratza grinder. It's the best grinder I've ever had. I can't say enough good things about it. Baratza.com for your grinder needs today. Okay, so let's talk about today the right employer and why not all employers are created equal. That may sound like somewhat of a controversial statement. That's not saying that any particular kind of employer from a particular cohort is created better than others. What it means is that employees and employers need to find each other in order to build a cohesive work relationship. And we are presented with one main challenge in the coffee industry around this. And what that is in most professions, and I can lean back onto my days in corporate when this was the case. When you were applying for a job in the corporate world, you had some sort of qualifications that were a base standard that told your employer what qualifications you had gone through to deserve a chance of being considered for this job. In the coffee industry, we don't have that for employees, nor do we have that for employers. So you don't have any specific qualifications that you need around leadership or business management or supply chain, anything like that, to become a boss, to become an owner of a business. Much the same as you don't have anything like that stops you from becoming a member or an employee in the coffee industry. Now, while that's awesome and it's great and it really lowers the barrier to entry and allows everyone the opportunity to have a go, it does have its challenges and it's presenting challenges. What they are can be different based on the position that you have an employee. So if you are going for a job as a manager, not having any managerial skills may still keep you qualified for that position. If your boss thinks that you've got what it takes to do it, they may get you into that position and groom you into it, or just let you learn for yourself. As opposed to in the corporate world, they'll put you through leadership training, or they'll require you to have had leadership and people skills management, at the very least interpersonal skills training, before they'll let you manage people. We don't have anything like that here in our industry. Now, why this leads me to the idea of not all employers are going to be the right employer for you. Think about why you're in this industry. Are you here just for a certain period of time? Are you here because you've decided you wanted to take a break from your career, work in the coffee industry because you love coffee, just do your job and then get out in 2 years? Or are you here to forge a long-term career in this industry? The type of employer that you will work for will be determined or should be determined by what your intention in your career and for this specific job will be. Now, we have career maps here at Map It Forward for baristas, for coffee roasters, for wholesale salespeople, and we're about to make them available for you to download for $10. Here's why you should think about something like that. Because we don't have a career track per se, and we don't have any kind of qualifications that are needed to do this, it is up to you rather than your employer to map out what your career intentions are long term. And these career maps help you do that. They give you a framework over a 10-year span to understand what you'll need to be qualified for from a skill set perspective at 3 different phases through the 10-year process. That becomes proactive in you understanding what kind of employer you'll need to choose based on the kind of experience you're looking to achieve throughout that 10-year career map. Now, that's not saying your career will only last 10 years. What we're saying is that over a 10-year period, you should be aiming for a particular goal in achieving something. So at the end of 10 years, you want to be a master roaster, you want to have a small business, you want to, whatever it is that you'd like to do. Aim for something. You can't know where you're going if you don't know. You can't get somewhere if you don't know that you're aiming to get there. So we always start with the question, what do you want? Where do you choose going? And so once you've determined that, you could create a map that allows you to understand, okay, in the first 3 years of my career, I've got to learn the fundamentals of what my craft is. How do I find an employer that can teach me the fundamental skills of this craft, whether it be in buying green coffee, whether it be in selling, whether it be in roasting, becoming a barista, owning my own business? Not all employers are going to be interested in doing that, or know how to do that, or are willing to teach you. If you are looking for an employer to teach you, make sure that they are going to teach you well. Make sure that they are qualified to teach you well by way of having had experience doing that specific thing for an extended period of time. So again, not all employers are created equal in the context of the job that you're looking to fulfill in this space of your career map. And it is important to recognize that. It's important to understand that if you are looking to become a part of a well-functioning team, very few teams function well. Most coffee small businesses are trying to function well, but keep missing and create somewhat of a strange environment because of too many moving parts all at the same time. And that's not any one particular thing's fault. It could be that the business owner is wearing too many hats all at the same time and don't have enough revenue coming in to cover enough extra staff. Remember, staffing and rent are the 2 biggest bills that a small business is going to face. And so, it may just be harder than what the small business owner thought it would be to take on this task. But knowing what it is that you want from an employer and helping them understand how to demonstrate to you that this is what they can do. So it's one thing to go to interview and say, okay, so I saw that you advertise this job as a barista and that you, for the right candidate, there would be a track to long-term employment, a salary, healthcare, and a possible management position. And that's awesome. However, make sure that you ask questions to demonstrate how they're going to achieve that. So many times at the moment, what I'm hearing is people saying, they told me that they were going to do this. They said they would promise me this promotion, etc., etc., and it never ended up happening. Find out at interview how they intend on executing the things that they're promising. And their answer will give you a clear understanding, beyond usually what they're saying, whether they can deliver on what they're promising or not. I hope this has been helpful, friends. We will let you know once these barista maps and roasters maps and wholesale salespeople maps become available. And you'll be able to download them for $10. And there'll be there's so much information in there. And we hope you enjoy them. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.